Dubois refuses world champion Wardley's fist bump. Daniel Dubois refused a fist bump from world champion Fabio Wardley as the pair came face-to-face at a lively news conference in London. The world title fight between two of Britain's biggest punchers takes place at Manchester's Co-op Live Arena on May 9th. After some long-winded bickering between the two camps, the fighters, relatively restrained until that point, finally sparked into life. Wardley said he would flatten the challenger. "My power is proven. If there's time left on the clock, I'm taking you out of the fight," he added. The 31-year-old, with 19 stoppages and 20 wins, will make the first defense of his WBO crown, having claimed the interim title against Joseph Parker before being upgraded to full champion when Alexander Usyk vacated the belt. Former IBF champion Dubois, 28, is coming off a devastating knockout loss to generational great Usyk last summer. "If you look back, when it gets dicey, he's not up for it," Wardley said of Dubois, who has faced accusations of folding too easily in his 3 stoppage defeats. Wednesday's news conference took place at Dutch Hall, a converted 16th-century church tucked away in the heart of the city. Dubois, never one for lengthy monologues, kept his answers short and matter-of-fact. But the Londoner was clear in his intention. "Victory by knockout, by any means necessary," he said. When the fighters eventually stepped forward for the obligatory face-off, Dubois looked away first as Wardley smirked. Moments later, Wardley extended his fist in a gesture of respect, but Dubois shook his head and refused to engage. Before the face-off drama, a twitchy, stone-faced Dubois glanced around at the stained-glass windows as the managers went toe-to-toe backing their men. Dubois representative Sam Jones predicted his fighter would flatten Ipswich's Wardley in quick time. Wardley's manager Michael Ofo responded in kind, saying Wardley would destroy Daniel Dubois early. The back-and-forth rumbled on, Wardley grinning as the volume increased. Ofo referenced Dubois' team and the recent changes in his training setup. After the loss to Usyk, Dubois, who has worked with 5 trainers in his pro career, briefly parted ways with coach Don Charles before swiftly reversing the decision. "It's going to be hard for Daniel to overcome all the things going on in his camp," Ofo said. "The only person over there should be Stan Dubois' father, because we know he makes all the decisions." Charles responded that talk is cheap before launching into his own war of words. After all that verbal sparring, promoter Frank Warren restored a little order. "The winner of this will be fighting in a big stadium fight," the Queensberry boss said. "But to get there, they have to lace them up and we'll see who is the best on the night." Both camps are passionate about their fighters, so it has all the ingredients of an amazing event. You are never going to get a stream of soundbites from Dubois, but he usually gives you one moment. Before facing Anthony Joshua in September 2024, he famously banged the table with his fist. This time, he kept that same fist to himself, and that made just as many headlines. He does not appear to relish the media spotlight, and that was evident again. He looked reluctant during press duties before the news conference. Wardley, meanwhile, is entirely at ease with the limelight and happy to trade lines. When the news conference started, there was more needle than many expected. But strip all that away, and this is a proper heavyweight fight. Credit to Wardley for selecting a high-risk opponent for his first defense. Credit to Dubois for swerving the easy payday after such a destructive loss to Usyk. In just over 10 weeks, it will not be the managers talking but 2 heavyweight punchers in the ring, each boasting knockout ratios of 95%. Daniel Dubois refuses world champion Fabio Wardley's fist bump. The fist bump hovered in the air for a heartbeat too long. Under the white blaze of arena lights, with camera lenses glinting like watchful eyes, Fabio Wardley extended his glove, a simple gesture, padded in leather and sportsmanship. Across from him stood Daniel Dubois, shoulders squared, jaw set like stone carved for a monument. The crowd felt it before it happened. Or rather, before it didn't. Dubois did not raise his glove. He did not nod. He did not meet the gesture halfway. He stared past it, through it, as if the offered respect were nothing more than drifting smoke. Wardley's fist lingered, suspended between courtesy and confrontation, then slowly lowered. In boxing, The smallest gestures can echo louder than punches. The refusal was silent, but it thundered. For some, it was disrespect. For others, it was focus sharpened to a blade. Because boxing has always existed in that narrow corridor between ritual and rawness. The glove touch before the first bell is not just tradition, it is acknowledgement. We are about to try to hurt each other, but we recognize the humanity beneath the headgear. When that ritual is declined, something primal awakens. Dubois has long carried the aura of a man who prefers silence to spectacle. His power speaks in concussive syllables. His footwork whispers until it explodes. To him, perhaps, a fist bump is unnecessary poetry before a coming storm. Wardley, the reigning world champion, understands theater. Champions do. They know that cameras capture more than combinations, they capture character. A fist bump can signal confidence. It can say, I am comfortable here. It can say, I respect you enough to fight you clean. But Dubois' refusal wrote a different script. It said, this is not friendship. This is business. The tension thickened like humidity before lightning. Commentators speculated. Fans chose sides before the first jab even snapped through air. Social media erupted in pixelated fury. Mind games, some declared. Poor sportsmanship, others insisted.